Starting night 3 on the 99 Sahara. Radiator's out. Third time I've had this apart. New radiator's leaking, so even with the new water pump and everything, still didn't hold. Got a new one of those. Got Greg here working, fortunately, because he's the line master. I know nothing about flaring and bending, so he's taking care of the brake lines and fuel lines for me tonight. And hope to get the intake and exhaust manifold off. New gaskets. There's a leak there somewhere, and I'm going to replace all the core plugs behind the exhaust manifold, just because knowing my luck, I'll get it all back together again and have a leak there. So, very ambitious night tonight. Hopefully we get most of this done. Oh, there's Greg's handiwork. Got most of the lines done, just one more left. I think that one goes to the right front wheel, but nice and clean, quick. Been at it less than an hour. Almost done. While Greg's finishing the last line there, I got intake manifold all While Greg's finishing the last line there, I got intake manifold all disc. Okay, the line's all cut, bent, and deburr the end and make a quick flare. Get your fitting. Moving too fast for me. Tool company says you can make a flare in 30 seconds. Let's see what happens. So that was the bubble, then you'd make the, then you finish it, right? Invert it. Let me see. Perfect. Last line ready to go. Got the brake lines all done. Just have to get the fuel vent line finished. Get the manifold off. I'm going to take the exhaust manifold off next. Pretty rusted bolts, but fortunately nothing broke to this point. And we'll get new gaskets at the bottom, new gaskets at top. Well, I did that. Greg was working on the budget boost. Got this spring out. Got the spacer installed up there. 2 inches of lift. Get some Rubicon Express shocks going in it shortly. This is the brand new brakes from night 2. Calipers and rotors, pads. New steering damper going in it as well. The rear spring out, and the rear spacer in. Pop that rear spring in. Usually very simple, but now that we're on video, we'll see what happens. We finally figured out we should work smarter, not harder. Use this spring compressor like we did on the front. Usually the rears just pop out and pop back in, but I'm too busy videoing to help Greg, so we'll use the compressor and make it a one-man job. What did I give you, the 18 millimeter? Beautiful. Okay, magic. Springs in. Decompress it, onto the other side. Two down, two to go. We got the Budget Boost Rubicon from Quadratech, and one of the biggest problems is getting the lower mount in through the poly bushing at the bottom of the shock. So just a quick trick. I'll try to make it look easy. Tiny bit of synthetic grease. I don't know if petroleum grease will hurt the bushing or not, but synthetic grease is what I've got. Simple bench vise. Get the pin started. Open the vise up. And get lucky. Push it right through with the vise. And then the rest of the way, voila. Very easy. You could spend a half hour breaking your knuckles getting those things in, but bench vise makes it easy. For the money, the Rubicon Express Budget Boost. Shocks aren't premium off-road shocks. If you're not going to be a serious wheeler, you just want to get a 31 or 32 inch tire under a stock TJ, which is all I'm trying to accomplish. This lift is perfect. Less than $300. Easy to install. And just have to remember, the Rubicon kit does not come with boots, so you have to order your shock boots separately. I put a few of these in with no boots because I always forget to order the boots separately, but now we'll make sure we get a set. It's getting late on night 3. Got all the brake lines run and the fuel vent line. Just bled the brakes. Everything held pressure fine. No problems there. Got the Budget Boost all installed with the shocks front and rear. Got a new steering damper under there as well. And just got the exhaust manifold off. While the exhaust manifold's off, it'd be silly not to replace the core plugs on the side of the block. None of them are leaking, but you don't often have this opportunity to get at them so easily. So take care of that. Next, the manifold. It's pretty beat. Looking for cracks and actually found one. Somewhere here. Right along the weld there. That back tube is all cracked. The flange is pretty rusty, rotted thin, but I just took the old gasket off, the donut gasket, and it looks pretty solid there. I'll probably reinforce that flange, weld it up a little bit, drill some new holes, put nuts and bolts in. I don't know how deep that crack goes down between the tubes, but we're going to take a chance with this manifold. We'll put a heavy bead of weld right around there. Clean it up, get that done. Let me work on those core plugs first. Let me get back to the manifold and hopefully get this thing reinstalled tonight. See if we can get some fluid in there and get it running. Well, every time I turn a bolt or remove something on this Jeep, it's just another surprise. It's probably a good thing I pulled these core plugs out because the block is completely packed with mud. Completely packed with mud. That is the most disgusting engine block I've ever seen. I'm going to have to flush that out and clean it all out. Core plugs are pretty beat too. This was the back one. All the sludge built up on there. They're not rotted through, but what a mess. At every turn this Jeep is becoming more and more of a nightmare, but way beyond the point of return here, so we have to continue on, flush the block out. I don't think this is getting back together tonight, but we'll see how far it can get. Make a big mess with the hose and hopefully get that sludge out of there. I got a hose with a high pressure nozzle and stuffed it down inside each one of the core plug holes, and all kinds of junk mud came out of there. But get this little plumbing brush, try to loosen up whatever else is in there and give it one last flush. But I don't know if it's because it was sitting so long or the previous owner never did any maintenance, but these 4 liters are prone to have a lot of sediment build up in the blocks. But to pay someone to do all this, probably not worth it, the amount of work that has to be done to this Jeep to bring it back to life. Good thing my time isn't worth anything, because this would be a losing proposition. But a couple nights, a couple Maduros, we'll get this thing cleaned out. Give it one last flush. Get some plugs in there and maybe call it a night. Still at it, night 3. Got the header welded up. Not the prettiest thing, the welder wasn't working too well tonight, but the crack's all sealed. Got the studs pounded out of the flange and all the gasket cleaned up. Got all the new core plugs in the engine. The head surface all ready to go. So we'll get this header installed and put the intake in, try to get this thing back together tonight. It's very late. This is about the end of night 3, and got most of what I wanted to get accomplished with the lift. All the brake lines all bled. We got the manifolds back on, all plugged in, all the plumbing done, and I'm not going to top the fluids off tonight. It's just way too late, and not try to start it. If it goes badly, it just wouldn't be a good ending to the night. But did get more than expected done, so I'm happy. So next up will be getting fluids in it, getting it running again. Put the fenders back on. Brand new fenders, all painted. Get them bolted up, and then pretty much just to buff the rest of the paint, wax it, take care of the flares, the mirrors, and detail it. And the tires and wheels will go on, and this will be ready for the road. So, the end of night 3. We'll see you next time.